Paul Thomson is up now with his quick tip for the evening. Paul?
Okay, good evening, everybody. I've been spending a little bit of time under the weather, and I was doing a little bit of modeling, and I thought I'd pass this one along. Dylan, can I have the first picture up there, please?
Coming right up.
Okay, basically what this shows is a rusted coupler. And I prefer the realism of rusted couplers because when you get into the yard, that's basically what you see, especially on freight cars. And I kind of discovered a way, well, paint just doesn't seem to work because frankly, the coupler doesn't work very well afterwards. So next slide, please, Dylan. This is another one that basically, I should have pointed out the difference here. The one before, I do two different types of operation. This one is for the KD Magnumatics. The other one, I cut off the pin for a little more realism. So on this one, I've left the pin down black to simulate an air hose. Okay, next picture, Dylan. I don't know if you can see this one all that well, but since I've been working on the cars, I keep a record of each car of what I've done. For instance, couplers, metal wheels, etc. And I've been going along tuning things recently, and that's what I've been doing so that when it comes down the road and I have to replace something or something has to be replaced or breaks, I know what I put on. Whether it's KD wheels or tangent wheels or whatever, because I'm converting everything to 088. Now, as far as the couplers go, my solution, Dylan, next slide, please, was to use a weathering solution. And basically what this is pigment in alcohol. And when you put it on, it doesn't gum up the couplers. I've used it on Sargent couplers, I've used it on KDs. And basically, I'm not too fussy as to whether or not I put it on or don't put it on the spring and the mechanism. And so far, it's worked. What I've got here is also a gauge because when I'm doing all these, when you're doing the couplers and you're doing the wheels, etc., keep a gauge handy. You can spec out the whole car. The thing on the left there, the little yellow thing, is a basically a micro brush. And Dylan, next slide, please. I use a micro brush basically because it allows me to get inside and sort of one swirl. This one obviously isn't loaded with goop because I couldn't photograph it that well. But this allows me to cover the whole coupler. And I'm not too worried within minutes, the alcohol is gone and I'm left with a rusty coupler. One of the downsides with this method is you may have to go back and touch things up because after a few operating sessions, etc., you may find that some of the pigment wears off on certain wear areas. Frankly, I've had a couple of these where I've had them on layouts for practically a year and nothing really detracts from it that much. Anyway, that's my tip for the night. If you want to try rusting couplers without paint, use a weathering solution. The one that I was using was from Model Tech, but I suspect that there are several others based with alcohol that will work. Thanks, guys, and Merry Christmas.